You know the scene. The phone rings. You pick it up, and there's this super cheerful, friendly voice on the other end telling you some amazing news. Apparently, you've been picked for a special program. You qualify for a medical device that's going to make your life so much better. And here's the kicker, it's totally free, covered by Medicare. It just sounds a little too good to be true, right? And that leads us to a really important question. So, what's the real cost here? Because as we've all learned, sometimes free is the most expensive word out there. In this explainer, we're going to see how one little free offer can end up costing you your money, your benefits, and even your own identity. So let's pull back the curtain on this whole scheme.
We are diving deep into the super common Medicare back brace scam. You might have even gotten a call like this yourself, or maybe you know someone who has. Our goal here is pretty simple. We're going to show you exactly how it works, why it's so dang dangerous, and, this is the most important part, how you can shut it down in an instant.
So, where does it all start? Well, it doesn't begin with some scary threat or an obvious red flag. Nope, it starts with a simple, almost disarmingly helpful offer.
And that's the bait. The voice on the phone is just so convincing. Hi, I'm calling from a medical supplier working with Medicare. Our records show you qualify for a high-quality back brace to help with pain. You've paid into the system your whole life, and this is a benefit that's available to you at absolutely no cost. For so many folks, it sounds totally legit, helpful even. It makes it really easy to just say yes.
But behind that friendly offer is a very calculated machine. The second you say yes, this chain of events kicks off that has nothing to do with your health and everything to do with their bottom line. Let's break down exactly how this whole scam unfolds.
This really lays out the scam's brutal efficiency. First, they get your Medicare number right there on the call. That's the key to the whole thing. Second, they don't just bill for a simple brace. Oh no, they bill Medicare for thousands of dollars for what they call durable medical equipment. And finally, what actually shows up at your door, if anything shows up at all, is a cheap piece of plastic, totally useless and something you never needed in the first place.
Now, you might be thinking, okay, so Medicare lost some money and I got a piece of junk. What's the real harm to me? The thing is, the consequences go way, way beyond that. The person who really ends up paying the price is you. And this just shows you the gap between the promise and the reality, doesn't it? They promise you relief, better health, all with zero out-of-pocket cost. But what you actually get is a box full of problems. Yeah, the equipment is junk, but the real damage? That's the invisible stuff. Your official Medicare record now has a bogus claim on it, which can cause massive headaches down the road. And believe it or not, that's not even the worst of it.
See, this is the really crucial part. This isn't a one-and-done scam. That single fake claim for a brace you never needed can actually eat away at the real Medicare benefits you're entitled to. It can trigger audits that make it harder to get the care you actually need later on. But the biggest, most lasting danger is that you've basically just handed the keys to your medical identity over to a bunch of criminals.
Just let that sink in for a second. Once a criminal has your Medicare number, they're not just going to stop with one brace. They can file more fake claims, they can sell your info on the dark web, or even get medical care in your name. This goes so far beyond a simple piece of plastic.
Okay, that was all the bad news. So here's the good news. Protecting yourself from this is surprisingly simple. You don't need to be some kind of a fraud expert or a private investigator. You just need to remember one single, powerful rule.
So how do you do it? How do you cut through all the lies and the high-pressure sales tactics to keep yourself, or maybe your parents or grandparents, safe? Well, it all comes down to asking yourself one simple question before you agree to anything at all. This is it. This is the golden rule. It doesn't matter how convincing that person on the phone is. It doesn't matter if they say they're calling on behalf of Medicare. The answer is right here. Your own doctor, the medical professional you know and you trust, is the only person who should be ordering medical equipment for you. If they didn't prescribe it, the conversation is over. Period. And here's the shield that makes that rule bulletproof. Treat your Medicare number just like you would your most important credit card number. Legitimate folks from Medicare are not going to call you out of the blue and ask for it. So if a stranger on the phone asks for that number, just hang up. It is the safest, smartest thing you can do.
So in the end, it all comes down to this. These scams are specifically designed to make you feel rushed, maybe a little confused, and powerless. But the truth is, you're the gatekeeper. You are in control of your own information. You decide who gets access. You hold the key.